because I don't do well fly off at the cuff. But my name is Darcy Jolley. I live in Waterloo. I've been a public employee since I graduated from UNI about 12 years ago. I've been a member of the union that whole entire time. I, like many others in this room, are angry and take personal what the state is doing to us as public employees. The governor has done this since I was in second grade and he was the governor the first time. We've heard about firefighters and police officers being exempt because they put their lives on the line every day. Well, I'm here to speak on behalf of DHS workers because I was one for 10 years. We as social workers are also heroes, and we put our lives on the line every day. And the difference between us and firefighters and police officers is we don't get to wear a uniform. We don't have a badge. We don't have a gun. I didn't even have a name tag that said what I was. We go into homes every day that Waterloo police would come to our meetings and say we were insane for going into these homes. They said, we won't go into these homes without backup and firearms, and you guys go in there with your little notepads and maybe a cell phone if we bring our own. I've been part of removals where police officers have told us, get that child in the back seat of the car and get out of here. Don't worry about car seats. Don't worry about you get out of here because it's not safe for you. They may come with us the first day to remove a kid, but they're not with us the next day we're in those homes and the days after because we are mandated to be in those homes every month to protect these kids. We are dealing with families who have significant mental health issues, substance abuse issues. And where is the government taking money away from because of our shortfall? The Department of Human Services. But I digress. My point is, you cannot divide us as public workers. I work for the Juvenile Public Defender's Office now. I'm not a social worker anymore. But we all put our lives on the line. We're all heroes. So if this is such a great bill for the people of Iowa, why are we talking about exemptions for anybody? I wrote to 149, all of the legislators. I did hear from Mr. Rogers. Thank you for responding to me. What I hear is I stand for Iowa taxpayers and I will stand for Iowa children. Prove it. Stand for the people who are putting our lives on the line every day to protect and educate the children of Iowa.
I'd like to respond to that directly, and I want to say thank you, Darcy. As a firefighter, I want to say thank you. So, you may have heard that this bill exempts police and firefighters. It doesn't really. It doesn't really. All the bargaining subjects have been constricted, right? So we're focusing on the bargaining. But I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a firefighter who's taken an oath to protect my community. And I can now be fired at will under this law by a supervisor or the mayor or council people who direct those supervisors to do that. That is wrong, wrong, wrong. I want to say today, I've actually posted on Facebook and I've replied in other emails, you are not going to divide and conquer people who have dedicated their lives to serving you. You are not going to divide and conquer people who have dedicated their lives to public service. We deal with all the stuff other people in life don't. That's what we do. Fire, police, truck drivers, garbage operators, DHS folks. We make sure that you live in a supportive, stable community. And to say that we don't get to speak to our bosses, who are elected officials, by the way, that's our ultimate boss when you work for the public sector, to say that we haven't earned the right as citizens to speak to them about our workplace conditions. A ton of police and firefighters are veterans. They've earned the right to say, hey, I'd like my workplace to be safer and my community to be safer at the same time as a citizen. This bill silences the voices of the people that protect you. That is wrong. That is wrong.
Can I just speak to that real quick? Senator Danielson and I actually had a good conversation about this bill yesterday on the radio, and it was civil, and he actually told me some things that needed changing, and I appreciated that. And we'll look, I can look at some of those things and potentially bring that back to our caucus and discuss possibilities of changes. I just want to reiterate, this bill is not eliminating collective bargaining. It does not eliminate anybody's opportunity to ever talk to their employer about their situation. That's a fact. You can always talk to your employer about anything that is happening with your employer. That's not the same. And real quick, what we're talking about with Just Cause is at-will employment. Private sector jobs, not public sector jobs. Most private sector jobs are at will. That's what most people around the country experience. That's wrong, too. So, I look forward to working with the Senate at looking at better options and better ways to make this bill better. And I appreciate the input from Senator Danielson to get this done. So thank you.
Since I was called out directly, I do appreciate, Walt, you tried to provide some background that you're at least open to listening to this. But this is serious business, my friend. Yes. This is serious business. I'd like to respond, since I was called out in his response. This country has learned a lot of lessons about who we are as a people, and the ability to have due process is a basic American value. So this bill does say that the scales of justice are tilted toward the supervisor and the elected officials, who are our bosses, Walt. So now you're going to take everybody who wants to dedicate themselves to public service. The day they walk into the door, they have to think about politics, not just office politics. They have to think about who the mayor is, who the council people are, who the school board members are, and through that filter decide whether that service they are rendering meets their muster, the politicians. This country has decided for well over 100+ years to do away with political patronage. To hire public service employees based on merit, knowledge, skills, and abilities, not politics. Not politics. So you cannot like me as a senator, right? That's your right. You cannot vote for me. And we get to compete in elections. But now as a firefighter, I got to walk into work, and the entire dynamic is changed because I can be fired for what I said. You don't believe me? Right now, I'm being asked by the city of Cedar Falls to sign a conflict of interest statement, right, for outside employment. I've signed it for 10 years, none. I have none. I don't have other businesses. I don't have any business with the city. The new fire chief sent back an email and said, you may want to look at that a little closer, Jeff. You're an elected official. That may now be a conflict of interest because you're going to make decisions that are affecting the city of Cedar Falls. That's my job as a state senator. That's my job. So I signed it again. None. And sent it back. Walt, this stuff is real. This stuff is real. And it will affect the ability of people to carry out public service because it's what they've dedicated their life to, not the politics of the day.
Thank you. Next question.
I just got to add one more thing to that conversation. And the reality is that this bill, the bill to gut collective bargaining, is on a fast track. My understanding this week it will be debated in the House, it will be debated in the Senate at the same time, and it will be sent down to the governor for a signature. Folks, this, Walt, I appreciate what you're willing to work on, but there isn't much time to get anything additional changed to that bill. They're moving it forward, and I don't see anything to stop it.